Orleans Saints on the road at the Carolina Panthers. This is 5.5 in favor of Carolina at home. 39.5 is our total here in this one. So we're sitting kind of in that dead zone there, Noops. So I guess my only advice here was if you like Carolina, buy off the 5.5 and buy up to 6 or 6.5 or something or whatever, something like that. Like get you a little better price, maybe get you some plus money or something like that. New Orleans now with Shook making his second start. They shipped Shaheed out of town, and which everyone knew anyway. This was like talked about beginning of the season. His contract was expiring, and they don't have the money to re-sign him, so he was going to be gone regardless. And so this game is interesting to me. I'm a little nervous. I originally had Carolina circled where I was going to play them in Survivor. I still have one little measly Circa Survivor entry still left, and I pivoted off of it. I'm a little bit nervous about what could be the variance in this one because I don't know who Tyler Shook is. I don't know what kind of rapport he has with Bailey that they traded for several weeks ago, that they're saying that they did it because they knew Shaheed was going to be gone and they thought that he could be a 1-for-1 kind of deal. I mean, I don't, they still have Kamara. They still have Olave, like whatever. So I don't know. The variance in this one pushed me off of it. So I know it's probably going to be the most popular or second most popular choice in Survivor this week. I just couldn't quite go there.
Yeah, from a Survivor perspective, I think a lot of it depends on what you have left on your plate. If you are a team that's made it through the first half of the season by picking a lot of big favorites, now is when you start to need to get a little contrarian so you can save what few good teams you have left. You're kind of really staring at a Panthers team that is kind of quietly just a game out of the playoffs here. I think, we continue to talk about the Panthers like they're a bad team, but they're at worst case average, basically, from a power rating perspective. I have them kind of right in the middle. They've been much better at home here. And the Saints, we just saw Shaheed leave. That's probably their most impactful receiver in terms of changing what defenses want to do. Olave is great, but he just doesn't take the top off the defense the way Shaheed does. And you mentioned Kamara. I'm wondering if we could just start playing Kamara unders. He seems like he has checked out. I don't know if he's soft quitting or what the deal is. The effort isn't there. He is not running with the same ferocity we're used to seeing him. Shuck looked okay last week. I don't think he's worse than Spencer Rattler, but overall, I'm still looking at a bad Saints team on their second road game in a row with some changes to deal with. Very limited offensively against a Panthers team that has no problem scoring the ball at home, that has developed a really solid run game now with Rico Dowdle and still Chuba Hubbard coming off the bench to fill in for him, basically. Again, I kind of feel crazy saying this, but I love the Panthers minus 5.5. I had this closer to 6.5, and that is a huge difference.
One other thing, I mentioned the Survivor angle here. I kind of glossed over it because I can't believe it's a real thing, but there is some buzz out there about maybe playing the Browns this week. And I put this out on Twitter. If you follow me on Twitter, you've already heard this take, but no matter what contest you're in, even if you're in Circa where you have the holiday weeks, like you're still allowed to not play 12 teams. There's only 20 weeks in the season. There's 32 NFL teams. You're allowed to not play 12 teams. So making it this far in the contest where you're inside 10% of basically every pool out there is down to like 10% or sub 10%.
Yeah.
You've made it through 90% of the cuts. You want to get bounced with a bottom 5 power rated team on the road? Like, is that really how you want to go out? Like, you don't have to play this team. They can be discarded. You can just not play the Browns this season. That is the great thing about there being more teams than there are weeks in the season. You don't have to play every team. So again, if you follow me on Twitter, you've already seen this rant, but I couldn't believe that I started seeing some projection systems where it was like 3% and 4% on the Browns. And I'm like, what are we doing here? What's going on?
I love the way you break that down. There are 12 teams you don't have to pick. I think that really explains it in a very clear way. And as you're starting to make that list, I mean, maybe the Browns are at the top of the 12 teams you don't want to pick, but they're on that list. You're just absolutely nuts. And again, you've done all this hard work and you're down to 10%, which as much as I just talked about maybe being a little contrarian and taking the Panthers, you don't have to be contrarian at this point. We're kind of towards the end at this point with just about 10%, again, of survivor pools is generally where we are. Don't get cute. Make sure you're picking a team that at least has a good chance to win that's at home. I mean, it's much different taking a Panthers close to a touchdown favorite versus trying to trust a Browns team that might not score more than 7 points not scored by their defense.